With the 2020 Major League Baseball amateur draft being cut from 40 rounds down to 5 rounds as a cost-cutting measure, this should make for an interesting draft and leave no margin for error in the 30-team scouting departments. The MLB has changed how signing bonuses for this year's draft class will be handed out. The maximum of a signee's bonus to be paid out by the end of 2020 is set at $100,000, with 50% of that total bonus value being paid out at the end of 2021 and the balance at the end of 2022. Today we're going to highlight our top 5 prospects in this year's draft class, and that's up next on Bush League Baseball. Our first player up is Spencer Torkelson. He wasn't drafted as a high school senior out of Northern California in 2017, but he made it very clear in his first year at Arizona State that he'd be someone worth talking about come 2020. Torkelson ended up being one of the best college freshman bats in the country in 2018. He then went out and backed it up with good performances for USA Baseball as well as the Cape Cod League. He put up some monster numbers again as a sophomore in 2019 before playing for Team USA again. This set the stage for him to be among the top players considered for the top of the first round of the 2020 draft class. As a right-handed first baseman who can really rake, he controls at bats extremely well and draws a ton of walks. He's able to drive the ball from foul pole to foul pole, and he uses the middle of the field when he's at his best. He's able to hit the ball to all fields with tremendous loft to his pull side. He doesn't sell out for that power, but he gets to it with ease. Defensively, he's worked hard to improve at first base, and he is very comfortable there. He's also taken ground balls at third and has played some left field where he's very adequate. But it will really be Torkelson's bat that has him high on teams' draft boards as a possible top 5 pick in this year's draft. Number 2 on our list is Austin Martin out of Vanderbilt. Martin has a chance to be the second player out of Vanderbilt to play a big part in a national championship team and be the first pick in the MLB Draft. Fellow Commodores player Dansby Swanson was the last to do so back in 2015. A 37th round pick by the Indians as a Florida high schooler in 2017, he could have gone in the top 5 rounds if signability weren't a factor. He started games at 6 different positions as a freshman and opened last year at second base before settling in at third, leading the NCAA Division I in runs scored with 87, and he also sat atop of the Southeastern Conference in hitting with a .392 average and a .486 on-base percentage. The best pure hitter in the 2020 draft class, Martin has tremendous feel for barreling up the baseball and makes consistent hard contact with a short, quick right-handed stroke. He's not overly physical, and many scouts believe that he will not have more than average power, but it is his raw hitting ability that is keeping him at the top of most draft boards. He controls the strike zone extremely well and uses the entire field, exhibiting no weaknesses at the dish. Martin grades out with a solid 55 speed rating by MLB scouts, and he possesses the instincts to play faster than that on the bases. A solid athlete, he has quick feet and soft hands, and enough arm to handle almost any position on the diamond. A few scouts had some concern about his throwing and were hoping to see him at shortstop in the 2020 season. But he opened the season at third base before moving to center field where he could be a solid defender. There's some thoughts among scouts that he could wind up playing a solid second base in the league. Number 3 on our list is Asa Lacy, a left-handed pitcher out of Texas A&M. Though Lacey exuded projection and top 5 rounds talent as a Texas high schooler in 2017, his $1 million price tag to give up his commitment to Texas A&M caused him to slide to the Indians in the 31st round. He has improved his hope and will command a much higher bonus in the 2020 draft, where he could surpass Jeff Granger, 5th overall 1993, as the highest selection in Aggies history. After ranking 3rd in NCAA Division I in opponent average at 162, and 8th in strikeouts per 9 innings at 13.2, as a sophomore, he pitched well with the U.S. Collegiate National Team in the summer. Lacey has boosted his fastball from 87 to 91 miles per hour in high school to 92 to 97 these days, using his 6'4" frame to create downhill playing, and hitters just don't seem to get good swings against it. He employs 2 distinct breaking balls, a 12-6 curveball and a hard slider in the low 80s. with the slider surpassing his curve this spring and becoming his plus pitch. His changeup fades and sinks and grades as a well above average pitch at its best, and it should become more consistently plus as he uses it more often. Lacey's biggest need is to improve his command and control. There's some effort in his three-quarters delivery, and he's still learning to harness his overpowering stuff, so he can't always locate his pitches where he wants. Even without precise placement, he's a left-hander who can get swings and misses with 4 different offerings. Up at number 4 is Emerson Hancock, a right-handed pitcher out of the University of Georgia. Hancock rated as Georgia's second-best prep prospect in 2017, behind Orioles first-rounder D.L. Hall. However, he almost priced himself out of the draft because he wanted to attend the University of Georgia. He was college baseball's best pitcher for the first half of the 2019 season, surrendering a total of 8 runs in 10 starts before missing 2 weeks with a lat issue and not dominating as much once he returned. Though he wasn't at his sharpest during the brief 2020 season, he's still on course to become the highest draft pick in Bulldogs history, surpassing Jeff Pyburn 5th overall in 1980. Hancock shares a lot in common with Casey Mize, who Detroit took with the top pick in 2018. They're both Southeastern Conference right-handers with similar builds who pound the strike zone with a deep repertoire, and they both missed some time during their sophomore seasons. His best offering is a fastball that sits 94 to 97 miles per hour and tops out close to the century mark, which rises through the zone. All 3 of his secondary pitches grade out as a plus at their best. His go-to breaking ball is a mid-80s slider, which breaks exceptionally well. Hancock also has a hard curveball that he relied on more in high school. He hasn't had to use his changeup much, but he fades and locates it well, earning some plus grades at times. A quality athlete with good body control, he commands his entire arsenal and should be a frontline starter if he stays healthy. And finally, to round out our top 5 is Nick Gonzales, a shortstop second baseman from New Mexico State. Gonzales has hit wherever he's been, but there's often been a bit of a knock on his numbers. He hit around 600 during his senior year of high school, but it wasn't against great competition in the Tucson, Arizona high school area. Scouts wanted to see him play in college against better competition, and he didn't disappoint with a very solid freshman season. He put up good numbers that first year, and video game numbers as a sophomore, but it was at the hitting haven that is New Mexico State. But when Gonzales went out and won the 2019 Cape Cod League MVP honors, with a .351 batting average, a .454 on-base percentage, and a slugging percentage of .630. He all but put an end to those knocks against him. The 5'10" middle infielder has as much pure hitting ability as just about any bat in the top of the 2020 class. He does it with a short and compact swing and a ton of bat speed, controlling the bat head extremely well through the strike zone. There's strength in his compact frame, but he might be more of a doubles hitter, even though he did homer 7 times on the Cape and 154 trips to the plate with the wooden bat. Gonzales has decent speed and is a solid base runner, and while he played shortstop this spring, evaluators don't think he has the arm or range to play shortstop. That does limit him to second base, but he's at least average there defensively. Gonzales fits the profile well as an offensive-minded second baseman. All his tools should land him well in the top 10 of the first round. Well, that's our top 5 for this year's draft. How do they stack up against yours? Due to the current health crisis, Major League Baseball is hoping to hold the MLB Draft sometime in July of 2020. We shall see where our top 5 prospects end up being taken. If you liked our 2020 MLB Draft Top 5 Prospects video, please hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to be notified when we post new videos. You can also watch Bush League Baseball live every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Bush League Baseball.